Hey folks, welcome back to my channel, Fish Den 365. We're out here on this Sunday morning in Lake Nockamixon and just out here fishing. We're doing some junk fishing today. This is the time of year when junk fishing is usually pretty good. It's post-spawn and the bass are doing a lot of things. Some are going out deep, some are mid-depth, some are shallow still, and they're probably starting to regain some of their strength after the spawn, so they can be doing different things out here. So I'm rigged up with 8 different rods. We're going to fish a little deep, we're going to fish a little shallow, and we're going to fish mid-depths in between as well. So come on along and we'll show you what we're doing, how we're thinking about things, and hopefully we can catch a few fish along the way. Same thing that happened to me 2 weeks ago. Bit it on the way down. This feels like a good one. Coming up, coming up. Oh, bit it on the way down. Here he comes. Oh, he wants to go under the boat. You don't like what's happening here. I'm just gonna lip him. Getting me all wet. Come here, buddy. Got him. They're not giants in here in this spot. You know, this is a mid-depth zone. And they're not, I don't catch giants here, but I catch a lot of 3-pounders like this one. And there's something about this section of the lake. There's always, I think, crayfish down there, and there's always shad in here. And these fish are strong in this section. Now, they're not caught very often, I don't think. I don't think a lot of people fish this section of the lake. But boy, they're strong in here. This one's been caught before. He's got a hole in his mouth. Well, maybe I should stay here a little longer. I was going to leave and go to shallow water, but he smashed it on the way down. I get more of them here on the fall than I do dragging it on the bottom. He's a lot bigger than that. Number 2, that one's out deep. So far, can't catch any fish shallow. Had a few bites shallow. Mid-range, we caught one, and we got one deep. So what do I mean? What do I mean by deep, shallow, and mid-range? Well, every lake that's different. Here in Nockamixon, this time of year, I say that I think that anything shallower than 8 feet is shallow, 8 to 12 feet is mid-range, and anything deeper than 12 feet is deep. Now, that changes as the year goes on. In the summer, as we're getting into summer now, once you get beyond 18, 20 feet, there's not much that happens below that because there's not enough oxygen to support fish life below 20 feet, most of the time. in the deep summer. So summertime, they can't go much deeper than 20 feet. And a lot of times they're not that deep. It might be 15 to 18 or 16 or in that range. So you have to consider that. But I always think that if it's shallower than 8 feet, you know, it's a couple feet out to 5, 6, 7 feet, shallow water. 8 to 12 feet, mid-range. Anything deeper than 12, deep water. That's how I break it down at this lake. Another one that ate it on the way down, or right as it hit bottom. In a tree on me. Yeah, it's a good fish. He's big, but I got him. Alright. Good chunk. Good chunky fish right there. Nice one. Put him back. So let's continue our discussion about deep, shallow, or in between. That fish was between deep and in between. You know, remember we already defined at Lake Nockamixon what's shallow, what's deep, and what's in between. Just as a reminder, anything shallower than 8 feet is shallow. 8 to 12 feet is that middle depth. Anything deeper than 12 feet I consider deep here in the summertime. And that fish was probably a little bit deeper than 12 feet. But, you know, there's always fish biting at all these different levels, no matter where you are. There's shallow fish, there's mid-water, mid-depth fish, and there's deep fish. The trick is finding where they are and then finding out what you need to do to get them to bite. And you can get them at these different levels, but your strengths might be a mid-depth fisherman, or you might have a stronger skill set in shallow water. So you have to take that into account. And then you have to take the weather into account. Today is very, very humid. There's some showers in the area, but then it's going to clear out as we go on. In the next few hours, it's going to clear and get sunny. That's going to change things. I tried shallow early because I thought that that would be a good way to fish with this humidity, but I couldn't do very well. So I swapped from shallow water. I fished points. I fished out deeper, and now I'm fishing some bluffy banks, and I caught that one there. Let's see what the rest of the day brings. I'm going to try a bunch of different techniques. I'm going to continue to fish deep, mid-depth, and shallow, and I'll just describe to you what I'm doing and how I'm getting these fish to bite. Making me come back here. Hey, he wants that. Oh, this is a good fish. That one was mid-depth. Good fish. Average weight today. They're all 3.5, 4 pounders. Look at that. Shallower zone. It was between 6 and 8 feet. Dragging the same bait though. What I'm doing now is I'm focusing on the 8-foot contour line where these weeds are, you know, growing but not anywhere near the surface, and I'm just bumping into the weed stems, milfoil stems, and trying to get them that way. And the weeds they're not thick here, so, you know, there's a patch here, a patch there, so I go through water without getting any, and then I start feeling the weeds again, and that's where I've been getting the fish. Folks, what we're trying to do out here, you know, we found a spot that has fish. So we're not fishing that today because there's fish there and we found a presentation that catches them. Two very important things. Now that we know we have a presentation that catches them, I'm looking for more spots. And the thing is, this presentation that I'm using is catching a lot of good sized fish, 3 to 5 pound fish. This is the size that I want because I'm fishing some of these Wednesday night lunker tournaments. And I took 3rd place in the last one, and I'm trying to get up to catch the biggest fish to get first place for a couple of these tournaments. So now I have a location. I'm leaving that alone today. I've been out here the last couple Saturdays. Now it's just I'm going to be doing the same kind of thing, same presentation in the same depth of water. I'm looking for similar areas where I'm finding those fish, and I'm going to find another couple of spots that has fish like that other spot does, hopefully, and that's going to up my odds when I go out on Wednesday nights. That's the whole trick right now. I'm just trying to, and there's one other thing that I'd like to do, one more thing that I'd like to add to this, and that is to find another presentation that catches fish in these spots. So far I haven't done that. I've got one presentation, it's working, I'm trying to duplicate spots, but then I'd like to get another presentation that catches fish, a backup presentation.